I want to talk to those of you today who feel like quitting. Maybe you feel like throwing in the towel. It could be your marriage. You've tried and you've tried and you've tried, and you don't feel like there's any way to get it back to the place where it should be. It might be you feel like quitting on a dream. You thought one day you could and you would, and now you think there is just no way. No matter how hard you try, it just doesn't come through. It could be an addiction that you've tried to overcome, and you've prayed and you've fought and you've dedicated and rededicated and tried again, but you can't seem to put it behind you.
So, what do you do? Are you going to get angry? Frustrated? Are you going to lash out at people? Are you going to start going down the spiral of negativity? Are you going to let the horrible situation dictate the way you feel and the way you handle it? Are you going to fall over, fall down, fall apart? Or are you going to face this issue with courage and resolution?
I love this quote. It says, if you don't build your own dream, someone else will hire you to help them build theirs. You have so much to give, but you don't believe in your heart of hearts that you can do it. You don't believe inside, deep down inside, that you can win, that you can go to another level, that you can uplift from your soul and give every ounce of your being and become the champion and become the winner and become great and go to the next level that awaits you.
Remember that the pain you feel today will be replaced with the strength you need tomorrow. Remember that every ounce of pain you feel is building a stronger you, a stronger body, a stronger mind.
If I fail, I try again and again and again. For as long as I try, there's always that chance of getting up. And it's not the end until you've given up. And just the fact that you're here should persuade you that you have another chance to get back up. There's still hope.
Don't you give up on your dream. I don't care if you don't have the money, you don't have the help, and you don't have the family for it, and you don't have the background for it, and you don't have the friends for it. Don't you give up on your dream. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. It may take you twice as long. You may have to take courses and classes. You may not read as fast. You might not move as quick. You might not have as much. But don't you quit.
If you're not willing to work, nothing works.
We so often focus on failure, don't we? We study failure. What do we gossip about? Other people's flaws and limitations. I find that most of the times our obsession with what is wrong just ends up breeding more wrong.
If you always do good work from your standards, whether you're in a project that fails or succeeds, you can live with that.
We go about it in very different ways, and reading your book, I was really impacted, and so getting to dive deeper into this, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I think the first place to start, walk me through what you mean by potential. Like what do you think is human potential?
Every creature, from a worm, insect, bird, plant, tree, everybody, all of them are trying to be full-fledged lives. If one sees what's happening beneath the earth in terms of the root systems, it is an enormous effort for a plant or a tree to become a full-fledged tree. Well, an apple tree is not trying to be an oak tree, but an apple tree wants to be a full-fledged apple tree. That effort is on in every life. So is it in human beings. But the problem with humanity is just this, that for every other creature, nature has drawn two lines. Within these two lines, they live and die. So their idea of full-fledged is hitting the ceiling of their life. But if a human being hits a ceiling, he gets frustrated and miserable because nature, this process of evolution has delivered to us to a place where there is only the bottom line, there is no top line, though some human beings are trying to breach the bottom line and go below. That effort also is going on. So essentially, what human life is when life was in the other forms of life that you see on the planet, nature determined a certain compulsive, instinctive ways of functioning. Once you become human, these lines have been removed. You can act consciously. That means what you call as human potential is not of any kind of measurable limit. It can go as far as you desire or as far as you have the courage to walk. So when we say human potential, unleashing human potential, it is not about reaching the peak, it is a trajectory. Because what our life is a combination of a certain amount of time and energy. Time is rolling away for all of us at the same pace. If you sit, it rolls away, if you sleep, it rolls away, if you do something, it goes away, if you don't do anything, it goes away. You're happy or miserable, it goes away. Time is running out for all of us. So it's only the energy that you can do different things with. If you bring your energies to a certain level of intensity and possibility, what somebody does in 10 years, you may do it in 1 year. This means if you live here for 100 years, it feels like in people's impact that you've created, it feels like you lived here for 1,000 years, simply because you have managed your life energies in a certain way. So for me, a human being impactful means, how conscious have you become? This is very important. Because if you're in compulsive cycles, then your energy gets wasted in so many things. If you observe people in a day, let's take 24 hours, in that anyway most people by prescription in America they sleep for 8 hours. So 8 hours means 1/3 of life is gone. In the remaining 2/3 they have to eat, they have to, shower, bathroom, this, that, all this, another 2-3 hours gone. So literally 50% of life is gone, daily basis, just for basic maintenance of this life. 50% of the time is gone in maintenance, remaining 50% what they have. If you look at every single move that they may make with their body, their thought process, their emotions, you will see a whole lot of it is happening in compulsive cycles. Or in other words, if you are little sensitive to life, you will realize you are the biggest issue in your life. So this is one thing that I'm trying to do with people, that you are never the issue in your life. I'm not the issue. My thought, my emotion, my body is never the issue. My thought, my emotion, my energy and my body are my instruments of function. They are not impediments in my life. But I would say for 90% of the human beings, their own body, the compulsions of the body, the compulsions of their thought, the compulsions of their emotions are ruling them most of the time. So when you yourself are a problem, well, you're on self-help.
What am I gonna do today to change what I see in this mirror? How you address it is you face it. You face it every day. You face it every single day of your life.
They have that story of just depression, that story of where you stop believing in yourself, you suck, and you're just not good, where it could bring you to your knees.
So you want to be normal. So you just want to be like everybody else that roams the world, not knowing the power that's in them, being fine with being mediocre. I see a whole bunch of people walking around out here who have no idea how talented they truly are.
I think it's about refusing to have someone define you and to say, I'm not going to be silent. I have to maintain my authenticity because it is in how we give our voice, give ourselves permission to speak our truth. That's what's going to change our world and the world around us.
A battlefield that goes on all the time. And there's bombs that are exploding all the time. Fear, anxiety, I'm not good enough. And a lot of times you're making those bombs explode or somebody else is making those bombs explode. You have to take control of that space.
There's no excuse whatsoever for not getting at what it is that you should be doing. It's absolutely reprehensible to justify your inaction with a catastrophe that extracts mercy from other people.
I'm training people to get into their greatness, to begin to develop the courage to pursue dreams beyond their comfort zone. Because in order to do something you've never done, you've got to become someone you've never been. When you're pursuing your greatness, you don't know what your limits are, so you act like you don't have any. And one of the reasons that Vujivic said, judge a person not by what they accomplished, but what they had to overcome for their accomplishment.